Hey, Nelson, alcoholic addict. That's not my real name. That's my pen name that I use here at my newsletter. I saw another hilarious meme the other day from Sarcastic AA Book. If you don't follow that account on Instagram, you're missing out on some really funny daily laughs about sober life. And the one I'm about to talk about, it really hit close to home. I'm going to clean up the language. It's pretty harsh. I'm going to clean it up just a little bit, but it basically says, that asshole better call me every day so I can show her the way to peace and serenity. And that one made me laugh because as a sponsor, as somebody working with other sober people, I have never had that exact thought, but I have come close. It is the ultimate trap for me in long-term sobriety, thinking I know what I'm doing and that now I am the teacher of all things sobriety. It still happens to me in recovery. We read about, I don't know, five books, maybe 10 books total, 5 books over and over again. And it means that I've read our literature repeatedly. I've heard people share for hours on each step. I've worked the steps myself. I've read the first 164 pages of the big book probably at least 20 times, maybe 50 times total. So there's a real danger to feeling like I've heard it all and I know it all. And I start to think that I am Dr. Nelson H., professor of sober studies at Drunk University. It's all bullshit. In fact, I think the less I think I know, the better off I am. Seriously. I've shared this before, but I always think about this work event I went to once, and there was a presentation about the ideal employee. And the presenter put up a slide with this giant white circle that had a tiny red dot in the middle of it. And he said that the giant white circle on the outside, that was everything you could possibly know in the world. And the red dot was about the amount that a single person could possibly know. His point was that you want employees who are aware that they are the red dot, that they know a certain amount, but there's all of this other stuff to know. And you want that self-awareness for people who know there is still expertise to be learned every single day. And I laugh about that story from my life because I remember looking at this slide and saying to myself, geez, I'm pretty sure my red dot is a lot bigger than that. The meme that I mentioned at the beginning, it's specifically about working with newcomers and sponsees, and it's amusing because of that tendency to think we got it all figured out, that we've been sober for a while, so I know what I'm doing. And I can't really truly help people if I am under that delusion. In my sober time, I've been told some really difficult things from sober people and who are struggling. And I've been asked directly more than once, what should I do? And I still have this inclination to puff up my chest and be like, oh, let me tell you what you should do, and just blurt out an answer. But I was told early on in recovery, and I still think about it, that one of the most important phrases that I need to learn, one that I probably haven't used very much in my life, is, I don't know. It was insulting when I heard that, but I think about it all the time because it's true. I don't know that much. I'm that red dot. That's the right answer so many times, isn't it? I don't know. Let's talk about it. I've had people ask me, should they get divorced? Or they'll tell me they didn't pay their taxes for a while and they're not sure how to deal with the IRS. Or they'll say they have this health issue and they're not sure what to do with it. And just to be clear, I'm not a marriage counselor, not a doctor, not a tax attorney. But it is tough for me, for somebody like me, to squash down the pride and ego and boost my humility up enough to say, I'm not sure. Have you prayed about it? Have you and your spouse tried seeing a therapist? And then just listen, I guess the key word for me in all of this is to support other sober people, not teach, support. I'm stubborn. I don't want a recovery professor preaching at me either. I got to remember that. I can support. I can do that. It often means just listening, being available. I can do that. And to go back specifically to that meme, I don't know that I can actually show somebody the way to peace and serenity exactly as the phrase is worded on that meme. I found my way to peace and serenity with a lot of guidance, But it's my version of peace and serenity, not anybody else's. It involves my higher power and my meditation and my program and the meetings I can get to and the people I like to call. And I have to always make sure that I'm open to suggestions and insights for sure. But this is a program. One of the beauties of it is that you take what you need, you leave the rest, you know? So with all that in mind, I find it actually kind of heartwarming and reassuring to think about the idea that I'm a work in progress, and I hope I always will be. It relieves a lot of pressure when I think about it that way. Like, I'm trying my best, and that's good enough. I mean, will a small part of me still always have a first thought that all of you other dummies should be following the amazing path that I am blazing here in recovery? For sure. So maybe I ought to try to do all the things I'm supposed to do, pray and meditate, get to meetings, but also maybe look at that meme every single morning and remember I should probably make sure I am on the path to peace and serenity before I start Google mapping it for you. Thanks for letting me share.